back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So that is something that interests you. Please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. So Cruel Intentions is getting an update from IMDb TV. So it is developing a college-age set reboot of the 90s film that was previously set in high school. But in this version, the step-siblings will put in a bet in order to seduce the daughter of the U.S. Vice President. So for those who don't remember or never saw it or too young to know, the movie from the 90s had a young Reese Witherspoon, her husband at the time, Ryan Phillippe, and then also Sarah Michelle Gellar. And so Sarah and Ryan were playing the step-siblings who bet that he could get Reese Witherspoon's character, who was the headmaster's daughter, into bed. And if he could do that, then his stepsister would finally sleep with him. It was the stupidest thing. But anywho, it was a remake of the Dangerous Liaisons movie back in the day that had Glenn Close and Jonathan Malkovich.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't know that was a remake.
So, yeah, it's a younger remake set in this.
Oh, I liked it. I did like that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie as well. I think I even have the poster still probably in my room at my parents' house for the movie. But so I guess we'll see what happens with it, how it goes. I don't see it. When you're used to the original people and you like those actors, I can't see anyone else really redoing it.
Yeah.
That great, but maybe we'll be surprised.
That's true.
Maybe we'll be surprised. You never know. Ridley Scott is currently writing the script for his sequel to Gladiator. This will follow Lucius, who's the son of Connie Nielsen's Lucilla and nephew to Joaquin Phoenix's Commodus. So Gladiator originally had Russell
Crowe.
Right, I was thinking Russell Wilson. I'm like,
oh,
he's the football player. Anyway, yes, it originally starred Russell Crowe as the Gladiator. And so, yeah, the sequel, apparently he's been planning to do this for a while. It's already gotten the go-ahead, so I guess Ridley Scott is currently filming something else right now, and once that's done, he's supposed to go full force into this sequel, so.
Wow, that'll be great, because Gladiator is one of my favorite movies.
Right, yeah. Unfortunately, also Russell Crowe wouldn't be in there, spoiler alert, because he died in that movie.
Right.
But
so did Joaquin Phoenix.
That's true, so Connie Nielsen would be the only really returning person from that, but it'll probably still be a good show. Olivia Colman and Rowan Atkinson, who was, Mr. Bean, for those who don't remember. In those movies.
I love Mr. Bean.
Have joined the Wonka prequel. This is the prequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that has just begun shooting in London with, as a reminder, Timothée Chalamet playing a young Wonka. So, anyway, I think that's cool, those two. And Olivia Colman, she was formerly of The Crown, and also she did that movie that won the Oscar for her, The Favorite. So she's just, everywhere.
Yep, she's also in Broadchurch on Netflix.
Right, yeah.
I think that was more maybe something that kind of catapulted her a little bit. That was a good one. Because I'd never seen her before that. But I did like Broadchurch, if anyone's interested. It's on Netflix. It's really good.
And then finally, Sterling K. Brown, who currently stars in This Is Us, will star and produce in a series called Washington Black. This is for Hulu. This will be a historical drama that follows 11-year-old George Washington Black when he runs away from a sugar plantation in Barbados to a community in Nova Scotia and falls under the guidance of Medwin Harris, who is played by Brown. So, yeah, that sounds interesting.
It does sound good.
Right? Yeah.
Of course, I love Sterling K. Brown, so.
That's true, yeah. So he's the second person now after Justin Hartley to get a series in the works after their show is over, so. No, it really is ending, folks. This Is Us. Really is ending.
Right.
So.
And when does it start up again?
Starts up in the new year, so
yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure they're going to start it in January, end of January, so. Final season.
That's probably why they're starting it later. So it can end in May and be done.
If
not sooner.
They said they started it so they didn't have to do a winter break that they usually do. Because normally they start in September, have like 4 or 5 shows, and then be off for 2 months, which is silly. So
exactly.
This prevents that. Movies and TV shows out this week. First up, we have No Time to Die. This is the newest 007 movie and the final one that stars Daniel Craig. Also stars Ralph Fiennes, Lashana Lynch, and Rami Malek as the villain. So James Bond is enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica after leaving active service. However, his peace is short-lived as his old CIA friend Felix Leiter shows up and asks him for help. It looks great. I'll probably see it, morning. It's a 2 hour and 45-minute runtime, I have learned. So it'll be a long one because with trailers, it's going to be over 3 hours long.
Ah, true.
So just go in prepared, but I'm sure
It's probably got a lot of action, so
yeah,
it won't
so you
seem
won't
like
notice.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
you won't notice that you're in there.
Shows like that, I can totally do a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm sure it'll be a good time. Then next we have Lamb. This is in theaters and stars sorry, I can't remember say her name right. Numi Rapace. She was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and the Born Identity movies. But in rural Iceland, a childless couple discover a strange and unnatural newborn in their sheep barn. They decide to raise her as their own, but sinister forces are determined to return the creature to the wilderness that birthed her. I've only seen like teaser trailers, honestly, on TV. It looks really creepy. I mean, they basically are treating this little baby lamb as their kid.
Wow.
And I can tell it's about to take it's going to take some type of dark turn, especially when you say sinister in the description. So, to me, the lamb looks normal, but this description makes me think, obviously, something's up with it.
Right.
But it says a natural newborn. It's like, well, it doesn't look unnatural.
And this is just in theaters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. For us here in Utah, it looks like it's only playing in Salt Lake theaters.
Oh.
So I was looking it up, and so it's one of those
So
art
very
house
limited
things.
showing.
Yeah. So mainly wants to do in art house theaters, not mainstream. So, but apparently when it was at the I want to say the Venice Film Festival, it got good reviews. So
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just looks one of those. It's probably one of those things I'd watch. I'd be disturbed somehow. I just know it.
Well, especially if there's a lamb in it.
Right.
So they better be nice to it.
Pretty Smart. This is a new series on Netflix and stars Greg Sulkin and Emily Osment, who are both formerly from the Disney Channel, weirdly enough. But book-smart Chelsea discovers she has a lot to learn about happiness after moving in with her bubbly sister and her 3 roommates. This is just a straight, normal 30-minute comedy series, you could tell, about, I guess friends. Let's call it like a little light, Friends light.
Oh, okay.
How all these different roommates get along in this one thing. So it doesn't look bad, doesn't look good from what I saw, but it could be cute. You never know. The Manor. This is a movie that is on Amazon. It stars Barbara Hershey and Bruce Davison. I feel like I haven't seen Barbara Hershey in so long.
I know, yeah.
She's best known from Beaches, for those who remember that weepy movie.
Right.
So after suffering a stroke, Judith Albright moves into a historic nursing home where she begins to suspect something supernatural is preying on the residents. In order to escape, she'll need to convince everyone around her that she doesn't belong there after all. This looks like it could be good. I'm sure it is one of those creepy, people are doing me wrong,
Yes.
like help me get out type of things. But it sounds good.
And Barbara Hershey's been in some creepy shows in the past, so she's good in those.
That's true. That is true.
So
I'll probably check it out.
Love it.
Then we have part 2 of one of my favorite series, as you know, called Leverage Redemption. This is the continuation of the original Leverage that aired off on the TNT network a few years ago. So part 2 starts this week on IMDb TV. So please check it out. It's just a fun, good time when you watch that. Then we have Acapulco. This is a series on Apple TV and stars Eugenio Derbez, who was in the Overboard remake, which was a movie. It was all right. It wasn't that great. We have Cord Overstreet from Glee, and then also Jessica Collins. So this is an English and Spanish language series set in the 80s about a 20-something who gets a job as a cabana boy at the hottest resort in Acapulco. So this looks... it looked... Anything with the 80s, when it's like bright colors and then the setting, it looked like it could be just cheesy fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So... I'd probably check it out.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because it did look slightly good. And just a side mention tonight, which is Wednesday when we're recording this, CSI Vegas starts for those who are fans.
Yay!
I am
so excited.
Make sure you check that out. Okay, so what we've been watching this week, I watched Venom: Let There Be Carnage in the movie theater, and I really liked it. They've just really leaned into the comedy and the it's kind of buddy, a buddy comedy type of thing with the two of them, even though they're in the same body. So I just really enjoyed it. It was funny. The action, though, was good. There were some parts, honestly, that didn't make sense, but it wasn't enough to ruin the whole thing for me. And, it was a full house. Everyone seemed to really like it, especially, you got to stay till the end credits because that's where everyone lost their minds. So
Ah.
Just it was just really good. I really liked Woody Harrelson as usual. He was good, and he really did remind me of his crazy self from Natural Born Killers back in the day. So yeah, it was a good time.
Well, that's interesting to hear what other people would think, because my son's friend did not enjoy it as much. He thought it was a little cheesy. So, no, he's a 20-year-old, no, a 19-year-old boy. So, maybe he was thinking, it's hard to impress some of them sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Like scary shows, my son doesn't think any of them that are scary that I think are awesome, like The Conjuring,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, I think it's got to be your age. But everybody's loved this so far. So
Yeah,
I'm going to say it's him.
Probably. I will go with that. You're probably right on that one. So I would give this a solid 3.5 wine corks.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty good time. So I would definitely check it out, especially if you've seen the first one. Just know it's still in the same vein. If you thought the first one was either too cheesy or you didn't like how much comedy was in it, you really won't like the second one because it even has even more. So I like that type of entertainment. So
and so maybe that's it.
Yeah,
it
works
wasn't
for me.
as serious.
Then I also watched this documentary on Discovery Plus called Curse of the Chippendales. Now, that just sounds crazy, but it was really intriguing. It was just all about the origins of the Chippendales and how it all went to pot, like what happened behind the scenes to make it
Literally?
disappear. No, disappear for a while before it reemerged with new ownership, out in Vegas. But like I said, it was just intriguing. I mean, you had murder. You had craziness, you had sex, drugs, I guess rock and roll, you could always say, of that era. So it delves into the owners, it delves into lawyers, it delves into some of the dancers' lives. I mean, it was just, it was very intriguing. I was curious about it because I'd heard rumblings about it years ago and had watched a TV movie about it, and I remember thinking, wow, who knew all that stuff was happening at the time for these male dancers, so. Anyhow, I do recommend checking it out if you have Discovery Plus. I thought it was very interesting. So
Okay. No, it sounds like it's right up my alley too because it's a documentary.
Right, that's true. I want to say it was 5 parts, 5 1-hour episodes of that. So, and then lastly, I watched 9 Perfect Strangers. This was a TV series on Hulu that had Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, Luke Evans, Bobby Cannavale. It's just many more people I can't name right now. Regina Hall. So this was based on the book by Leanne Moriarty, who also did Big Little Lies. And I'll just say this was strange. It was definitely a whole different tone to that book and series. So overall, I didn't really like the ending either. So it was just okay of a series to me. The end there was a nice twist in the end about why exactly they were all together. You're like, oh, okay. I did figure out one part of this, who done it in there, but early on. So unfortunately, it wasn't a great watch for me, but I don't know. If you like Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy, they were the highlights of the show. So hey, there's that. So I only honestly give this 2 wine corks. It wasn't the greatest to me. So
yeah,
a
little disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So I think maybe I'll just pass that because I wasn't sure I was going to watch it either.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about it. But so this week I actually watched some movies, and I'm going to start with one that I really wanted to see. And it came up as on Acorn TV, but I was able to get it on Amazon, and it's called The Lambs of God, and it's about it's like a dark Gothic tale of 3 nuns, each a generation apart, living on an isolated covenant by the coast, and an unwelcome visitor enters, which is a priest, and they want to take that back. The church wants to take it back because they want to put this hotel and maybe make it profitable, but it's the home of these 3 nuns, and they literally went through hell in their lifetime, and so they came to this covenant, and they made it their home. And it literally, they look like they're just, creepy witches. And it stars, what is her, let's see, Ann Dowd, yeah. And Dad, she's Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, right. Okay.
She plays Sister Margarita in this, and she's really good in her parts. I am not gonna lie, I think she's a great actress. Jessica Barden, Essie Davis, and Sam Reed. He's the boy. It had kind of a what's it called? He comes to visit them, and the only way for them to keep him from leaving is to basically beat him to where he can't leave. And there was that show by Stephen.
King?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And what was that show? Or the book? It was also made into a show.
About someone beating somebody?
Well, yeah, he came to visit, or he stopped in, and she wanted to keep him there.
Oh, was it Misery?
Misery.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was an M word. Anyway, it's kind of Misery-esque.
Oh, okay.
In a way. But
okay.
these three nuns are trying to prevent him from leaving, telling them that they're there so that they can take their home away from him. So it's kind of creepy, but kind of sad, too. So you might want to check it out. I thought it was good. Then the next one I watched was Guilty, and that's on Netflix with Jake Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. And that was good, but it all took place with him being a 911 operator. And some of the calls he got. And there's the reason he was demoted to a 911 operator instead of a police officer is he had done something. And so, but you really weren't sure what he did or how bad it was. It was just kind of a mystery. And then at the end you kind of figure it out a little bit. But it was okay. I'd probably give it maybe 3 wine corks at the most.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I watched Pig on demand. I don't know if you even heard about this, but this is like Nicolas Cage. It's like one of his probably latest movies. He hasn't done much in a long time.
Right, yeah, no, that's true.
And he looks like a homeless guy living in a cabin. And apparently he was a chef. But he hunted for truffles. He was a truffle hunter.
Okay.
And he had a pig that would show him where the truffles were.
Okay.
So his little pig, and she was his best friend, right? He lived alone. Someone breaks in.
Did they live in the house with him?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Dude, just a little dude. She was cute. And they'd go out every day and hunt for truffles, and then some guy would come and he'd pay him for his truffles. Anyway, someone breaks in and steals the pig.
Okay.
And so the journey begins to get her back. So it's very odd. And it got 98% Rotten Tomatoes, which I was very shocked about because it is kind of a Oscar-ish type of movie where I don't know, it was slow moving. It's not my kind of movie. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, Nicolas Cage is good. He's always good. I just sometimes wish his parts were better, but this was odd, to say the least.
It did look odd from the previews I saw, so
yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. The storyline's very odd. And let's just say we don't know if he gets the pig back, so.
Okay. Well, I wasn't planning on seeing it, so thank you for reviewing it, because
absolutely.
I was like...
You can just bypass that one if you like.
Now it's time for some movie trailer talk. First up, we have Cyrano. This will be out in theaters December 31st and stars Peter Dinklage, from Game of Thrones, Haley Bennett, and also Kevin Harrison Jr. Haley Bennett, I know, has done a lot of things. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but I just remember her from the movie Music and Lyrics back in the day with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore. Such the cutest show. Anyway. This show also looks very cute. It's you can tell it's a musical. There's a lot of singing in it, some dancing.
Yes,
I'm all about this. It's Cyrano. It's the basic story of Cyrano. Think how Roxanne basically took Cyrano and put it in the modern times for Steve Martin.
If you know anything about that story.
So it's that same story, like I said, with a musical twist. And I think it looks cool. I'll probably see it.
Yeah. It's definitely a chick flick, though.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. I mean, there's some fighting scenes.
Right.
And I love Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my faves.
Right.
And
he is playing Cyrano, just so we're clear.
He does play Cyrano.
He's one playing Cyrano.
So, I would be interested to see it too.
Yeah,
I would definitely see this.
I think it's good. And then next we have Red Rocket. This is a movie out December 3rd and stars Simon Rex. Now, for those who are around my age, which is 43, you'll remember Simon Rex was an MTV VJ who went on somehow to, get acting roles after that, like in the show What About You with Jenny Garth and Amanda Bynes. That's right, because I did watch it. I used to watch it a little bit back in the day. Anyway, this actually looks funny. I was watching it like, really? I kept saying out loud, like, really? Like, okay. So, it just looks interesting. He's apparently some washed up porn star who comes back to his hometown and is just trying to get his life together, and no one wants to see that happen, it seems like. So
oh yeah, so, exactly. It does look like kind of humorous.
Yeah, so that's how I'm taking it. So I don't know if I'd see it in theaters, but I would watch it once it's available at home and to see it. It does look like it would be entertaining, actually.
Yeah, it looks like it's won several awards. Like even
though
it was at the Cannes Film Festival and won something there. And
that's true.
So it could be better than what it looks, but yeah, it does look funny.
Exactly. When I heard Simon Rex and then saw him, I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen that dude. Yeah, because I just remembered him being on MTV because that was back in the day when I was my age to watch MTV. So yeah. Anyway, so interesting choices to look forward to both in December. So we'll see how those turn out.
Okay, well, thanks so much for listening. It's about all the time we have for this week. Next week, maybe we'll talk more about Halloween coming up because it's my favorite time of the year.
Oh, that's true.
And, anyway, we will. So, because we love Halloween. We all do. Don't we?
We do. Well,
okay.
It's kind of. I mean, I do watch Clue every year. That's Halloween. That's honestly, I'd like to
Hocus Pocus?
No. I was never into that.
Anyway, all right. I'll talk Halloween. So, anyway, of course, we had fun as usual, and we hoped you enjoyed it as well. You can give us a review or a comment, as it really does help us out. And please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_Moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.